We were talking about this during the commercial break. It's one of my pet peeves. And, of course, I have my own school of sportscasting now. So I have to teach the students about this. And that's when you have somebody ask the question, and it's not even a question when somebody says, talk about. So at a press conference, a lot of times you'll hear somebody say, could you talk about, and then whatever the topic is. So you didn't come up with a question. You just want somebody to kind of ramble a little. Can you make my job a little bit easier? That's really what they should say. Could you make my job a little bit easier to talk about the Yankees? Here was a question that was asked to Chris Sale, the Red Sox star. Not really a question. It's my pet peeve.
Chris, can you talk about your success against the Yankees this year?
No.
That's it. That was it. That was the answer. Shut him down. Yes.
Because what are you expecting him to say about his success against the Yankees?
Well, just talk about it.
Yeah, so far it's worked out well for me.
Yeah, just go and talk about it.
Can you elaborate, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, Fritzy.
He could have at least just given a short, vague, boring answer.
He could
You don't got to
have.
show up there, embarrass somebody in front of the rest of your colleagues. I don't know why that's necessary.
Okay, but what is he supposed to talk about?
Then say, I'm not sure what you're asking me. You give him a second chance, but no. Look, what is that?
I'm glad somebody finally said no. Because I've been in these press conferences. I've been around this where somebody says, talk about it. Like, do you do that at home? Like, do you say to your wife, hey, talk about your day?
Never.
Yeah.
You'll never get out of the room.
Yeah.
I just said that out loud.
That means
I was looking for an abridged kind of brief version of it. Did not take me hour by hour how the day went.
I'm sure your wife doesn't say to you, Fritzy, hey, talk about your day.
Definitely not. It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be halfway through what I'm telling her.
Your wife goes, stop talking about your day.
Yeah, she just goes in another room and puts headphones on.
Talk about.
Put headphones on.
Talk about.
Noise reducing.
I saw this on the website, The Big Lead. Kyle Koster, I hope I got that right, had a column on this. In defense of talk about, the 2 dirtiest words in sports reporting. Actually wrote a column on this. And he knows that we talk about this all the time. It's a pet peeve. Talk about is not the best option, perhaps not even a good one. There is no substitute for direct, insightful questioning. The person serving up talk about is not painting with the black and white 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Talk about can turn into a waste pitch. That said, think of all the softball questions. The questions asking, what did you think when X, and how did you feel about Y? Or those basically inquire about the same topics as talk about, but have a question mark at the end. Are they all superior? Or perhaps, more to the point, are they any different? Athletes and coaches are prompted to respond to a topic. Open-endedness is valued. Talk about, for its faults, is limitless in its scope. The interviewee, we can expand in any direction, explore any avenue. It's better in a post or pregame, less in long form. Also, think about all the cliche call and response that we see in sports each and every day. Talk about is railed against as a scourge, while the bloated, fatty, and entirely useless portion of the program escapes largely without scrutiny. Questions and non-questions alike should be judged by the answers. Talk about so often performs on par with, occasionally better, than its differently punctuated cousins. We've made a mountain out of a molehill. I'll stand on either. Talk about is fine. Talk about is lazy, is what it is. And if you're in a press conference, if I'm an athlete and you want something specific out of me, then ask for something specific. But to say talk about your success against the Yankees, I would give you a vague answer there. Why do you think you're successful against the Yankees? What do you do differently against the Yankees? So talk about might elicit a good response. And I will say this about the column. The column does hit this, and it's important, and I teach students at my broadcasting school. It's about the answer you get. How do you get to the answer? What is the good answer? Because a lot of guys in my industry, we're insecure, and we want to have an elaborate question. We want to give you question, answer. We'll answer it, and then we'll ask the question because we want to make it seem like we know what we're talking about.
I hate when people do that.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. But there are times when you can just say why or how. And those are the best questions you can ask. But talk about, you gave no thought to it.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.